Hello and welcome to Psychology Sorted. This time we're looking at how to conduct your Psychology IA experiment remotely because we know a lot of you are having to work online at the moment. Quickly, let's just go over what the IB Diploma Psychology IA is. We've got the list here. I'm not going to sit and read it out, but the main thing to focus on is it does have to be completed as a group of 2 to 4 students. So communication with your group, selecting your group and being people who can work together is going to be extremely important for this. So, getting started. First of all, get in communication with your group through social media. Agree your topic, make sure it's something you all want to do. Get hold, of course, of an original copy of the theory, model or study that you're going to be having a look at. Make sure you understand it and how you can do it. And then start planning your IA together. We have included an online proposal sheet on our Psychology Sorted blog that will help you to get started. Just click on this link and it will take you there. Don't forget to think ethics, feasibility, going to be able to do it, and the KISS means keep it stupidly simple and get your teacher's approval. So now to the IA layout. Here's the layout of the main body of your IA. We've put exploration in red because the exploration is actually the part you're going to do remotely. You're going to have to work in a group to go through the procedure, which is part of the exploration, to get together the materials, to standardize the forms, and you're going to do all of that remotely, including conducting the experiment. And don't forget the extra bits. The contents page isn't assessed, but it's nice to have one. References you'll be doing by yourself as well. The appendices, everything in there will be the same for all members of the group apart from the calculations, which you do individually. All of the rest will be the same because they are standardized across the group, even when you're not doing your investigation remotely. And now to the remote bit. There are plenty of details for conducting your IA face-to-face on our blog. Here we're going to look on doing the experiment remotely. You'll need to keep in frequent contact with your group and share the collection of data tasks. Of course, keep backup copies of all work and share all your work freely. And there will be a few challenges. These 4 procedures are slightly different from when you're doing your IA face-to-face, and we'll go through them one at a time. And now to choosing your sample. Your biggest challenge is getting enough participants. So, unless a kind teacher lets you use their online class, you're probably going to have to use social media. Send out to everybody you can think of. It's fine to use family members, friends and teachers, and split this task between all of you. Make sure you've got enough participants plus a list of spares. You might want to use some of the spares for your pilot study, of course. And don't try and do all 10 or 15 or 20 participants in one Zoom room or in one Teams meeting at the same time. Better to do it one person at a time. And again, if you've got a group of 4, you can do 5 each, can't you? Make sure to gain informed consent. It's much easier if you only use participants who are over 16 years old. You can accept electronic signatures, but remember verbal consent or people waving their hands up at the camera is not enough. If you are recording in Zoom or Teams or similar, remember to gain consent for the recording as well as for the actual experiment. And then conducting the experiment is very important, I think, if you're doing your research online, to use a pilot study. Just check your connections, test the online platform as much as testing the experimental procedure. Then share the data collection between you. Make sure you've used standardized tools. Test participants individually. You might make a PowerPoint presentation with a data collection tool. Control the variables. Do not debrief each participant as you have finished testing them, because otherwise they are probably going to break the confidentiality and tell the others, and then you will have participant bias in the rest of your sample. Do thank them personally and explain that the debrief will come after all participants have been tested. And now for the debriefing. You can send out a debriefing document by email or send a link to a document immediately after the data collection from all participants is finished. You could as well, or instead, offer an online debrief in person, but you must do a standardized debriefing statement. Should be the same for the whole group. And please share your anonymized results as soon as they're available, either through email or some other way, just to make sure that everybody knows what your research was really about and what you found. Finally, pulling it all together. Share your data. Check you all have all the same documents for the appendices except for the raw data calculation. That will be different. Check the data for any large discrepancies. If 15 participants, 3 groups of 5 maybe, had one set of results and then the last 5 in a variation conducted by one of your group had completely different results, you might want to check your standardization of materials and procedure. It might just be that it is a genuine difference. You'd have to see. Back up everything and then start writing your report individually and pat yourself on the back because you've finished some of the hardest part. And if you liked this, you're sure to like our blog and our textbooks, all aimed at helping you with your IB Diploma Psychology course. Thank you for joining me and listening.